Buck is here for dinner. He actually was laying down over there on that path when I walked up to the spot. So he was probably napping and just waiting for me. Right? You were just napping close by. Yeah. Yeah, my big boy. It's okay. There's nobody here, just me and you. You okay? You okay? I know, they were making noise next door. I know. His hair is shedding so much. Oh, Buck, too bad you don't let me brush you. I could probably brush all that dead hair off of you, but you gotta let it come off on its own, huh? Good boy. Yeah. You want your corn? He's checking his corn bucket. Yeah, you still have corn in there, baby. Oh my God, I threw some corn on the floor just in case Thumper comes. He must thought I got rid of all his corn. Baby, I didn't get rid of your corn. There's still corn in your bucket. You want your apples? And I'll put the grapes in the bucket? Okay, we'll do it like that. You want apples? Here. You want apples? You want me to throw in a bucket? You want to eat it in the bucket with your corn? You have your mind on your corn, I know. Here. Here, Buck. Honey in here? Okay. Got a lot of apples there, big boy. You want to eat in your bucket like a big boy? All right. That's fine. He has his moments sometimes where he wants me to feed him, and then there's times he wants to eat on his own. So today, for dinner, he wants to eat on his own. You want to eat on your own, big boy? Good boy. It's okay. I know, Buck, that sound. I know. You're okay. The house next door doing construction again. So Buck is like kind of freaking out, but he's okay. You're okay. And tomorrow I gotta restring the corn bucket. Because the corn bucket, I don't know why, it's like hanging so low. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to fix that. Or even later maybe, before it gets dark. I just can't do it right now because he's eating. Yeah, he wants to eat on his own, so. I know when he has his mind on the corn, that's usually when he keeps looking at his corn bucket while he's standing next to me. That's when I just put the apples in the bucket and make him eat it on his own. I gotta rub the spray on his face because I see a little fly on his face. He's diving in, I think, for the grapes now. Let's see. Oh no, the apples. He's eating the apples. You dropped 2 apples, I think, right? Oh, 3 apples you dropped. Oh, you dropped a few apples, Buck. He dropped a few apples out of his bucket. It's okay. Eat apples, baby. You're okay. It's because the apples are falling out of the bucket because the bucket is hanging so low. I have to fix that bucket now. It's bothering me. But I have to wait till he's done eating. I can't fix it yet. Yeah, when I walked up to the spot, he was laying down over there. Just staring at me. It was so cute. I was like, aw. Really? You just make that fall out of your mouth like that? Unless he's trying to get to the grapes and he's spitting all the apples out of his bucket. Let's see. I'm sure those apple pieces, because I cut up 3 apples today. So the apples he don't eat, I know the squirrels, they'll be collecting. They'll be excited about it. You having a good dinner, my big boy? I end up eating dinner first. Usually I feed Buck first and then I eat dinner. But I end up eating first and eating with my dog, like feeding her dinner too. So I was inside while I was eating my dinner. My dog was literally on the floor next to me with her bowl, eating her dinner. So I was like thinking in my head, okay, once I get done with my dinner, I'm gonna come right outside and feed him. Because I always feed him first. But then when I'm outside, I get so hungry because it's like during dinner time, you know? And my stomach starts growling. So I was like, no, I have to like feed myself first. So at least if I'm nice and full, like I hang out here with him for like a long time, you know? I don't have to like feed him and hang out with him for only an hour. I can actually stay out here for 2 hours with him. It won't bother me, you know, because I won't be so like hungry that I have to run inside to go eat something. So that's why today I did it a little different. I fed myself and my dog first. Well, I always feed the animals first before me, which my husband yells at me about that. He'll be like, you need to eat first and then feed the animals. I'm like, I know. But today I did it different. I fed my dog first and then me. Look at him with the grapes. Okay, so he's enjoying his grapes. Now I could sit over here. Ugh. No, eat apples, baby. Don't come by me. I want you to eat apples. You dropped so many apples on the floor. Look how many apples you dropped. Now he's going back in. Because I cut up 3 apples. Because the apples that I cut up, they were like kind of like small, medium apples. So when the apples look small to me, I usually give him an extra. Instead of 2, I give him 3. But I think the 3 was a lot of slices because he dropped a lot out of the bucket. But hopefully you eat those apples that fell. I'm sure he'll smell them right after he's done eating the corn. I brought bread out for the birds or the squirrels. I don't see nobody. Thumper was hanging out like right by my shed on the property. I seen Thumper hanging out literally right by the shed. So I know Thumper right now is on my side, but like hanging out close to the house. Because I did see Thumper. Unless it's a different bunny, I'm not sure. Because there's like 2 big bunnies that hang around our property. I know one of them is Thumper. But with the bunnies, it's hard to tell them apart, you know? The only way I know it's Thumper when it runs here for the corn. That's how I know, like, you know, who's Thumper. I threw corn all over the floor just in case Thumper does pop up. He'll have some corn. I think that's why Buck got like a little upset that I was throwing the corn. But I was dumping his old corn because there was like some of his morning corn in the bucket. So I literally took out the morning corn and threw it on the floor for the bunnies and the squirrels. And I put the new corn in his bucket. I think that's why he got like, he wanted his corn right away because he thought that I was giving all his corn away. They're like, Mom, why are you giving all my corn away? No, I didn't. I gave him a fresh new scoop. He gets 1 scoop in the breakfast and 1 scoop of corn for dinner. And then plus with the goodies in between. I just hope he sees the apples. Look how much apples he dropped. Buck, you dropped like half of an apple right there. Hopefully you clean those apples up. He's enjoying his meal right now, I could tell. It's so cute how he looks around while he eats. I know, baby. You're paying attention to all the sounds. It's okay. And his bucket's been really clean, so I guess the raccoons haven't been coming by. Like every morning when I walk over to the buckets, I notice that they're not like dirty or muddy. That's how you usually know if the raccoons are by. So they haven't been around. I guess Buck must have really scared them like the last few times. Honestly, they make a mess. So it's like, if they don't come by, it's fine. I'm okay with that. I like them. I think they're cute. But let me tell you, raccoons are messy. They make a mess. And sometimes they'll even bring garbage here, like bags and papers and stuff. Like they probably, you know, break through people's garbages and drag the bags inside the woods over here in the forest, you know? And then they bring the trash everywhere with them. Oh my God, and Buck is loose. Look at that. He's getting his winter coat. Slowly, but it's coming. I mean, I don't think it's coming slowly, actually. It's coming pretty quick. Hopefully he sees the apples on the floor, because I don't know if he knows that there's apples on the floor. Let's see. Let's see if he puts his hand on the ground to eat those apples. Or is he going to leave them? Or maybe now he understood. Maybe he don't want them. He's too full. You're too full with apples, so mommy cut too much apples, you see? That's why if you give Buck like an extra apple, sometimes it's too much for him. Because I cut up 3 apples. I guess 3 apples is too much, because he left literally like almost 1 apple dropped on the floor, like all the pieces. Look at that. You gotta clean that up, Buck. We're gonna have mouses and ratatouilles, and then they're gonna come and they're gonna want to eat that. Oh, I gotta move that rock. There's a rock there that's in the way while he's eating. Right there by his foot. That's a rock, a big rock. I gotta move that rock because I noticed that he kept picking up his foot before. It was bothering him. That's there in that spot. I gotta move it. I have sticks on my side that I can move it with. I'll wait till he's done eating. It's actually got quiet outside. Like, that's why it's lucky I didn't come outside, because I came outside at 6. I was gonna come and feed him at 5, but my dinner was still cooking, so I couldn't, like, you know, leave the house while everything was in the oven. I was like, I can't do that. But it's kind of good that I waited till 6 because it's a little bit more quiet. I think the construction next door finally stopped. I don't hear no more noise. And Buck gets to eat in peace. Right, big boy? You get to eat in peace? I want to see if he eats those apples when he's done. And it's so nice out. It's not hot or cold or anything like that. It's just like in between, you know? Like there's air out here. Like it's kind of like a springy fall type of weather. Like that's the way I could explain it. Like, you know, like on a spring day when it's not too warm, but you have that little breeze, but it's kind of like fallish. Like, I don't know how to explain it. That's what it feels like right now. Like I have a sweater, a light sweater on, and I'm comfortable. I'm not hot. Because usually when I put sweaters on, like, you know, and it's hot out, I get hot. It's actually nice out. Can't complain. Ah, he's hungry. He's eating all his corn. I think because he watched me dump the old corn on the ground, and he thinks I'm gonna give his corn away, and that's why he's trying to hurry up and eat it all. I can't. All right, maybe now he'll eat the apples. Let's see. No? You don't want your apples, big boy? No? I guess because they touched the dirt, you don't want them? All right. Maybe because they touched the dirt. Because Buck is spoiled like that. Let me tell you, he really is. Like yesterday, 2 grapes fell on the floor, and I noticed they got dirt all over them. He smelled them and left them there. Meanwhile, you know, if you feed it to him by hand, he'll eat it. If something falls on the ground, he like leaves it. Unless it's peanuts. If it's peanuts, no, he'll eat it. I see a squirrel coming. You're hungry, big boy. Your big boy was hungry today for dinner. And that's it? You full? You left the apples. I mean, I'm sure he ate the rest of the apples that were in the bucket. Because it looked like he cleaned out that bucket. Now he's cleaning his mouth. You scratching your lips? Are your lips itchy? Or maybe now he'll eat the apples. Let's see. No, you see? Because they touched the dirt. All right, Buck. Next time I know, I gotta make sure I put the apples in the bucket that they're not falling out. That's because the bucket is slanted right now. So if you put too much like heavy stuff on it, it starts like hanging a little bit. That's why I gotta fix that bucket. Yeah, he left the apples. Look at that. You left all those apples. No, the squirrels will come. Rocky and Lucky, you guys have some apples you could feast on. Let me see. Oh, wow, he ate almost all the corn. Good boy. I gotta try to move that rock that's there. There's a rock that was in his way. Like his foot kept hitting it. Like it was like he had to like put his foot on top of it just to eat close to the bucket. So I gotta get a stick and remove that rock. Oh, the birds are still singing. It's so pretty. Right, Buck? It's so pretty. Here's my big boy. I wonder if he's about to lay down. Oh no. I was gonna say probably not because he was laying down before when I got here. He's just smelling everything. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video. I'm going to try to grab the stick that I have because I have a few sticks over here on the side. I'm going to try to move those rocks that were in his way. I want to do it now while he's not like over here in the front, you know, by the buckets, because he's not going to allow me to do that while he's standing right by the buckets. So I want to try to move those rocks so, you know, they're not in his way or he don't end up stepping on them. I will be back tomorrow morning with another video. I know this video seemed like a little quick because, you know, I didn't get to feed Buck like by hand. I had to throw, he wanted his food in his bucket today. But he still left his apples. He left a bunch of apples on the ground. So hopefully he eats some of them. I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe he's just full. But now that I know maybe 3 apples are too much for him. Years ago I used to give him like between 2 to 3. But then I started cutting down to 2 apples because he always left a few slices in the bucket. So I think 3 is too much. Especially that he has the corn, the grapes, you know, all the other goodies. And he forges on his own, you know, in between throughout the day. It's probably, yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to do 2 apples, not 3 apples. Right, my big boy? Is 3 apples too much for you? Yeah? I'm saying apples. He's licking his mouth. You have apples on the ground that you left, Buck. You didn't eat all your apples. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. Me and Buck, we will be back tomorrow morning with another video. Hopefully tomorrow morning will be a quiet morning. Hopefully the house next door won't be doing so much construction because it's annoying, you know? He doesn't eat in peace, and then I feel like I don't get to spend a long time with him because then he ends up like walking away after a while. Like he gets annoyed with the noise and he just walks away. That's what he did this morning. Literally right after I fed him, he hung out with me for like 10-15 minutes and then he left because the noise was just too much for him. But I never try to keep him here if the noise is too much. You see how he's paying attention right now? He's paying attention to the noise that's next door from me. All right, guys. I'm going to be here for a while with him to see how long he stays. I will be back tomorrow morning with another video. I hope everybody has a great evening and a good night. And me and Buck, hopefully Thumper and the rest of the crew will be back tomorrow morning. I know Buck will be here waiting. He always is. He's always on time, most of the time. The only time he wasn't on time is when we had the doe, Betty, come around. That's the only time he was coming late to dinner. But once they broke up, he went back to his regular schedules. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. Ciao for now.